What if I told you that most of the work you're doing in your container garden is completely unnecessary? That the plants you're replacing every single year, spending money, spending time, starting from scratch every spring, could be swapped out for perennials that come back stronger with almost zero effort. Most gardeners don't know this, but while you're buying annuals every season and babying high-maintenance plants through summer heat, there are perennials out there that actually prefer life in a pot. Plants that shrug off drought, tolerate neglect, laugh at poor soil, and come back bigger and better every year, asking for almost nothing in return. Today, I'm going to show you 10 of them that will completely change the way you think about container gardening forever. Stick around, because number 6 thrives on pure neglect. The worse you treat it, the better it looks. And number 10 blazes with solid gold color for 3 full months in summer heat that would destroy most plants. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we post new videos every week that'll save you money and help you grow more with less effort. Number 1. Hosta, the shade garden workhorse. Let's start with Hosta. If you've ever struggled to find something that thrives in the dark corners of a patio or balcony, this is your answer. Hostas have been grown in containers for generations because they do something most plants refuse to do. They actually prefer shade, and they come back every single year without being asked. Hosta species produce some of the most dramatic foliage of any perennial. Enormous leaves in shades of deep green, blue-green, gold, and variegated white that can span over a foot across on mature plants. In a pot, that size becomes a statement. A single large hosta in a beautiful container looks like something a professional designer placed there. Here's what makes hosta ideal for lazy container gardening. They go dormant in winter, disappear completely, then re-emerge in spring, larger than the year before. No replanting, no coaxing, just patience. Use a good quality potting mix with plenty of organic matter. Water regularly through the growing season, and then essentially forget them through winter. Divide the clump every 3 to 4 years when it outgrows the pot, and suddenly you have 2 hostas for free. Think of it as the plant that rewards you for doing less. The more you leave it alone, the more impressive it gets, year after year. Number 2. Sedum, the drought-proof container perennial. Sedum might be the single easiest container perennial on this entire list. These succulent-leafed plants store water in their thick, fleshy leaves, which means they can go weeks without water, survive heat that would wilt most plants, and thrive in the kind of poor, fast-draining soil that kills almost everything else. And they come back every year without exception. The upright types like Autumn Joy produce flat-topped flower clusters that emerge pink, deepen to rose, then turn copper bronze in fall, and remain on the plant through winter, providing structure and texture even when everything else is dormant. Birds eat the seeds. The dried flower heads look beautiful under frost. This plant is never not doing something useful. Here's what makes sedum genuinely foolproof in containers. It's almost impossible to overwater without immediate warning. Leaves turn mushy and translucent, telling you exactly what went wrong. And it's harder to underwater, because those thick leaves are built-in storage tanks. Plant in a container with drainage holes. Use any well-draining potting mix. Water occasionally. That's it. No fertilizing required. No winter protection needed in most climates. Think of it as the plant that was designed by nature to survive container life before containers were even invented. Number 3. Coral bells, the year-round color machine. Coral bells are where container perennials get genuinely exciting. These plants produce foliage in colors that seem almost impossible. Deep burgundy, electric lime, caramel, bronze, silver with dark veining. And they hold that color year-round, even in winter, even in partial shade. They're one of the few perennials that looks good in every single season. In spring, new growth emerges with intensified color. In summer, delicate wand-like flowers rise above the foliage, attracting hummingbirds. In fall, the foliage deepens. In winter, many varieties stay semi-evergreen, giving Heuchera species evolved in rocky, poor soil environments where drainage is sharp and conditions are tough. A well-draining pot mimics that environment perfectly. Modern breeding has produced hundreds of varieties, but the care stays the same across all of them. Plant in a container with excellent drainage. Water when the top inch of soil dries out. Feed lightly in spring. That's genuinely the full care routine. It's like having a living decoration that changes with the seasons, but never demands your attention. Number 4. Daylily, The no-excuse bloomer. Daylilies have a reputation that's almost unfair to other plants. They bloom reliably in nearly every condition: poor soil, drought, heat, containers, with no fertilizing, no deadheading, no complicated care routine whatsoever. Gardeners have been dividing and passing daylily clumps to neighbors for over a century because they multiply freely and ask for nothing in return. Hemeroculus species produce strap-like foliage that forms dense clumps and erupts into bloom in summer. Each individual flower lasts only one day. That's where the name comes from. But each stem carries multiple buds, and each clump produces multiple stems, so the display lasts for weeks in a large container. A mature daylily clump becomes a genuine spectacle. Here's what the nursery industry doesn't emphasize. The varieties your grandmother grew without any fuss are often more resilient than the fancy modern hybrids sold at premium prices. The older diploid varieties are essentially indestructible. In a container, plant in any decent potting mix. Water occasionally. Divide every 3 years when the clump gets crowded, and collect more plants than you started with. It's like having a plant that pays you back in new plants every few years just for leaving it alone. Number 5. Russian sage. The more you neglect it, the better it looks. This is the one I hinted at in the intro, and it earns every bit of the hype. Russian sage is a plant that genuinely thrives on neglect. Poor soil, better. Minimal water, better. Blazing heat, perfect. Containers with sharp drainage, ideal. This plant evolved in Central Asia in the harshest possible growing conditions, and when you replicate those conditions in a pot, it produces some of the most beautiful, airy, silvery purple displays in any garden. Coreopsis produces tall stems of silver white that terminate in clouds of tiny violet blue flowers. The effect is soft, almost hazy, like purple smoke drifting above the container. It blooms from midsummer through fall, and the stems remain attractive well into winter. The key: it hates rich soil and excessive water. Most gardeners fail with Russian sage by treating it too well. Gritty, fast-draining soil, minimal water, no fertilizer, full blazing sun, and it stands upright, blooms heavily, and returns every spring harder than before. Cut it back hard in early spring, all the way to 6 inches. That's the only maintenance it actually needs. If you're finding this helpful, now is the perfect time to subscribe to Rooted Gardener. We share videos every week that help you grow smarter, spend less, and stop wasting effort on plants that don't come back. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss one. Okay, let's keep going. Number 6. Coneflower. The pollinator magnet that runs itself. Coneflowers do something most ornamental perennials don't bother to do. They provide for wildlife, while being almost completely self-sufficient. These tough prairie natives produce those distinctive raised orange-brown centers, surrounded by reflexed pink or purple petals, attracting bees, butterflies, and goldfinches who eat the seeds in fall, all while growing in dry, difficult conditions with minimal water and zero fussing. Echinacea species evolved on the American prairies, where summers are brutal, rainfall is unpredictable, and soil is hard and dry. Container life with decent potting mix and occasional water is a genuine improvement on their natural habitat. Here's what makes coneflowers ideal for lazy containers. They self-seed freely. One plant becomes 3 in a large container over 2 or 3 seasons. You don't need to do anything. The seeds drop into the soil, germinate in spring, and you end up with more plants than you started with. Leave the seed heads standing through winter. They feed birds and provide winter interest. Cut them back in early spring. The plant returns. Number 7. Catmint. The forgiving repeat bloomer. Catmint has an almost saintly tolerance for imperfect care. Miss a watering, it recovers. Forget to deadhead, it keeps blooming. Skip the fertilizer, still covered in flowers. This plant produces cascades of soft lavender blue flowers that bloom in late spring, rest briefly, then bloom again in midsummer when you cut it back, then often a third time in early fall. 3 flushes of color from one container perennial with minimal intervention. Research on drought-tolerant perennials consistently shows catmint as one of the highest performers in water-limited situations, maintaining bloom production even when moisture is inconsistent. Plant in full sun to partial shade. Water when it looks slightly wilted. It bounces back within hours. After the first flush, cut the whole plant back by half. Within a few weeks, it's covered in flowers again. Think of it as the plant that keeps forgiving you for the care you forgot to give it. rewarding you with another flush of flowers every single time. Number 8. Salvia, the drought-proof repeat flowerer. Salvia in containers is one of the most underappreciated combinations in all of gardening. These plants evolved in dry Mediterranean and South American climates with distinct wet and dry seasons, which means they've been evolutionarily trained to flower hard after dormancy and shrug off drought like it's nothing. In a pot that drains fast and dries out between waterings, perennial salvia is perfectly at home. Salvia nemorosa and related species produce vertical spikes of deep violet, purple, or blue flowers that rise cleanly above mounded grey-green foliage. Cut them back after the first flush in early summer and they rebloom. Cut them back again, and some years you get a third flush. Our ancestors weren't growing these plants for decoration alone. The name itself comes from the Latin salvo, to heal. You're putting centuries of practical plant knowledge in a container. Plant in full sun. Use well-draining potting mix. Water once weekly at most. Feed lightly in spring. Cut back after each bloom flush. Return every year. Think of it as the plant that rewards you with more flowers every time you cut it back. A counterintuitive plant that thrives on being trimmed. Number 9. Coreopsis, the heat-proof non-stop bloomer. Coreopsis produces more flowers per unit of care than almost any other perennial available. Bright gold and yellow flowers emerge from late spring and keep coming through fall with minimal deadheading. In containers, in full blazing sun, in poor dry soil, with irregular watering. Coreopsis species are native to the American Southeast, which means they evolved for exactly the conditions most container gardeners struggle with: heat, drought, and difficult soil. In a container with decent drainage, they perform even better. Research on heat-tolerant perennials consistently ranks Coreopsis among the top performers, plants that maintain ornamental value even during extended dry periods. Plant in full sun, water occasionally, deadhead lightly to encourage continued bloom. Cut back in fall, return every spring reliably. Think of it as the plant that converts summer heat from a problem into a fuel source. The hotter it gets, the more it blooms. Number 10. Black-eyed Susan. Months of gold with no maintenance. We're saving the best finisher for last, and black-eyed Susans absolutely earn that spot. These bright gold flowers with dark centers bloom from midsummer through fall, sometimes 3 full months of continuous color, in heat that punishes other plants, in drought conditions that would stress most perennials, in full blazing sun, with absolutely no fussing required. Rudbeckia species are native wildflowers that have naturalized across most of North America, precisely because they're so adaptable. In a container, that adaptability translates to pure reliability. The flowers keep coming regardless of whether you deadhead, fertilize, or pay close attention. Here's what makes them particularly valuable in containers. They bloom in the height of summer when most spring perennials have long finished. When your hostas are just foliage and your catmint is between flushes, black-eyed Susans are just getting started. They fill the summer gap when everything else is resting. Gold flowers blazing in containers while other plants take a break. Plant in full sun. Use well-draining potting mix. Water occasionally. Divide every 2 to 3 years. Leave the seed heads in fall for birds. Cut back in early spring. The whole care routine fits in one sentence. There you have it. 10 perennials that come back every year, ask for almost nothing, and make your container garden look like you actually know what you're doing. Stop spending money on annuals every spring. Invest once in plants like these, and let them work for you season after season. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It helps us reach other gardeners who are ready to stop starting from scratch every year. Subscribe to Rooted Gardener if you haven't already,